Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Outgrow's Marketer of the Month. I'm your host, Dr. Saksham Sharda. I'm the creative director at outgrow.co. And for this month, we're going to interview Raul Galera, who is the chief advocate at ReferralCandy, which is a referral program software for e-commerce. Thanks for joining us, Raul.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So Raul, we're going to start with a rapid fire round just to break the ice. You get 3 passes. In case you don't want to answer the question, you can just say pass. But try to keep your answers to 1 word or 1 sentence only, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the first one. How long does it take you to get ready in the mornings?
Seconds.
Most embarrassing moment of your life?
Pass, I guess.
How many hours of sleep can you survive on?
Probably 5.
Fill in the blank. An upcoming marketing trend is blank.
Community marketing.
The city in which the best kiss of your life happened.
Cadiz.
Pick one, Mark Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey.
Okay. The first movie that comes to your mind when I say the word ambition.
Okay, the first one is Scarface. Probably not a good reference, but
For sure. When did you last cry and why?
At a hospital about a year ago.
Okay. The biggest mistake of your career.
Not listening.
Okay. How do you relax?
Reading, exercising.
I thought you were going to say by not listening. But okay. How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
5.
A habit of yours that you hate.
Not listening.
The most valuable skill you've learned in life.
How to write.
How to what?
How to write, like write
Okay,
emails.
how to write. I thought you were going to say listening again, but okay. Your favorite Netflix show?
Ooh. Big Mouth.
Okay, so that's the end of the rapid fire round. You scored 9 on 10 and you win. Hold on. You win a car. Just kidding, you don't. But thanks for participating anyway. Now we're going to go on to the bigger questions. The first one is like, in your own words, can you define what ReferralCandy does and how you help your clients and how it's different from other referral marketing platforms out there?
Yeah, so what ReferralCandy does is that we help e-commerce brands to set up and run customer referral programs. And like the main point behind this is to help them get set up in a matter of minutes. So they just need to add a few items to the referral program, kind of like define the rewards, add some visual assets, and we literally take care of the rest of launching the campaign for them. And one of the main kind of like difference points between ReferralCandy and kind of the rest of the competition in the referral and loyalty space, well, first of all, is that we've been around for over 10 years now. So we're actually one of the, I would say, pioneers in the referral marketing space for e-commerce. And we've remained niche and like highly focused on just referrals. A lot of our competition decided to expand with other products besides referrals, and adding just referrals as a feature. We decided that referrals are actually, enough of an important segment of any referral and any marketing strategy that it deserves its own software and its own kind of dedication to it. So I would say that's one of our main points.
So having been one of the first companies to be doing this, what is something about the referral marketplace that you have noticed has evolved in the past 10 years? Something interesting that's happened, something radical, something controversial?
um, so I don't know if there's anything controversial, but we've seen changes in how brands are approaching referral marketing. Traditionally, it's been a way to just acquire new customers. So, I mean, essentially, what referral marketing does is that it turns your customer base into your own sales team or marketing team. And so, kind of like following the trend that we've seen over the past few years, where e-commerce brands had this mentality of growing at all costs. Referral marketing was seen just as a way of fueling that growth by adding new customers and bringing new customers to the store. One change that we've seen over the past couple of years that it's been pushed by the rise in ad costs, the competition, and also just COVID has put everything upside down. It's how brands are now starting to look at referral marketing not only as a way to acquire new customers, but also as a way to retain their existing ones. So if you're running a referral program and you are rewarding your customers with, let's say, a discount or an incentive to buy again after they refer a friend, you're making sure that you're keeping those customers for longer than you used to. So that retention side of something that we've seen that has increased a lot in the past few years. I mentioned community marketing in the rapid fire question. It's something that I think are going to have to pay more and more attention in the next few years. Community marketing, it's just essentially creating a community around your brand, right? You have something in common with your customer base, and your customers within themselves, they have things in common. It could be a hobby, it could be a theology, whatever it is. So kind of building a place for them to hang out, to communicate, and to share experiences with each other and with your brand. It's something that some brands are doing extremely well. And as we get into this highly competitive, more and more brands are going to have to start looking at that as well.
And how important do you think it is to strategize and spend time to plan a good referral program in the first place?
I don't think that the initial planning it's that important. The kind of like the key items they need to look at when you're launching the program is, what are your margins? What can you afford to give as a discount to incentivize friends to buy for the first time, but also for customers to go out and make those referrals. So that kind of like financial incentive is something you need to look and see what you as a brand can afford to give to acquire those new customers and also to retain the ones that you already have. But at the end of the day, this is about creating a program that's going to speak to your customers. So you probably already know what would drive your customers to generate referrals in the first place, which in a lot of the cases, it's having a good product. So the fact that you have a good product in a lot of the cases is incentive enough for your customers to go and refer their friends. So it's just a matter of building on top of that. Really, you'll always have the opportunity to test the reward structure. See if given a higher discount or a higher incentive or a higher cash reward turns into a higher percentage of referrals. But initially, not much planning that needs to be involved because you already know all of your customers by the time you think of launching a referral program.
And how has the boom of influencer marketing affected your business?
We actually have a lot of customers that are using ReferralCandy in two different ways. They're using it just for their customer referral program, so just traditional get 20% type of thing in which customers refer their friends. But they're also using ReferralCandy as a way to run kind of like private or closed or VIP referral programs for either their top advocates or for influencers with a different set of rewards. And we're seeing that happening a lot. And one of the reasons why brands are starting to look at influencer marketing from the referral marketing perspective is that, and this is something we've heard from merchants directly, is that when they interact with influencers, influencers either fixed payment or or some sort of upfront kind of payment. They're not really working on a commission basis that would kind of like give them more money as they refer more people. And so being able to add that performance based type of incentive for both for the brands and for the influencers, it's really interesting, because for the influencers, they have the upside of potentially making a lot of money if they're able to spread the word. But also for the brands, they don't need to make that upfront payment or just pay for the content. Instead, they're paying for what they're getting. They're giving a reward to the influencer based on the number of sales that they've generated through them. So I think it's really leveling the field than it used to be. And yeah, we have quite a lot of brands that are using their referral program software that they're using for their own referral program as a way to track how their influencers are doing. And I expect that, if anything, this is going to grow over the next few years.
So which brings us kind of to the next question, which is, how is referral marketing then different from affiliate marketing? And which form of reward do you think attracts the most in referral programs?
So the main difference between referral marketing and affiliate marketing is the audience itself. So when you're running a referral program, you are incentivizing your own customers, which are not professional sellers or professionals in any shape or form on the sales or marketing field. They are just naturally providing recommendations to their friends and family. And so the audience that you are speaking to, which are your customers, and also the audience that your customers are speaking to, it's pretty familiar. Right? It's people that are in their close circle. And so it makes sense that the structure gives incentives to both sides, both the customer that's making the recommendation and also the friend that's being introduced to the brand for the first time. Now, affiliates, it's a little bit more professional in a way, right? The audience, it's a lot different. When affiliates, which is typically people that have, let's say, a YouTube channel or a blog or some sort of online presence, and they're expert in one particular field, when those people talk to their audience, they're not necessarily close to their audience. They're not necessarily close to the people that are going to end up making purchases through them. So the reward structure is a lot different. In the affiliate world, it's typical that the affiliate, in this case, the person that's making the recommendation, takes kind of like the whole piece of the cake in terms of rewards. They probably get a commission or some sort of like fixed cash reward for every sale that they generate. And in a lot of the cases, they don't really provide. This could change, but they don't necessarily have to provide an incentive for the friend or for the person that's being referred in exchange for buying from the store for the first time. So those are, I would say, that the two main differences between affiliate in terms of the audience that these people are speaking to, and also the rewards. And when it comes to what are good reward setups for referral marketing, I mean, it really depends. A rule of thumb that we typically use when we talk to brands is that if you are selling a product that your customers can buy on a somewhat regular basis, offer them a discount on a future purchase for every friend that they refer. So that way you are incentivizing them to come back to your store for more. But also, and going back to what I just mentioned about that your customers are speaking to, in a lot of the cases, your customers are going to recommend your product because they think it's going to be useful for the friend or the family member that they're speaking to, or the coworker, right? And so in some cases, that referral is going to happen no matter what. So it makes sense to maybe give a bigger incentive to the friend, who's the person that needs to try the product or try the brand for the first time. We've actually seen a lot of referral programs that put a lot more emphasis on the friend side rather than the advocate kind of commission or affiliate incentive, and those tend to work really well. So like I said earlier, it's a matter of listening to your customers and kind of from your own understanding of your customers, figuring out what's something that's going to incentivize them to go out and refer.
So when you mentioned that it's about the ones that have phrasing like refer a friend, so is it like particular kinds of phrasings that you've seen your clients use? What are the most common phrases that people use within their software to get people to do the referrals? You say refer a friend or refer like a business partner? What do they say usually?
Friend, yeah, that's
Hmm.
100% what they use. Friends and family, but friends is the most common one, and
Hmm.
they also use something that we like a lot, which is like share the love, so
Hmm.
spread the word and share the love for the brand that you're referring. But yeah, it's typically we actually want them to incentivize on the friend, because that again that creates a lot closer connection to the people that they're speaking to.
So more like refer a friend and you can get this feature upgrade, or refer a friend and you can get a 20% discount on your plan or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So refer
Hmm.
and get 20% off your next purchase, or refer a friend and get a free product, or like you said, or like a free upgrade. Yeah, this with kind of depending on the industry, and depending also the kind of the product that the brands are selling, they typically try to play with that. We've seen, for example, a lot of subscription boxes that either give a free renewal for every friend that you refer, or they kind of like double the number of products that you get in your next package next month, something along those lines. But the most common ones involve some sort of discount for both the existing customer and the friend.
Hmm. And how important do you think a word of mouth communication is in referral programs? Like, can you share an example from your journey at Referral Candy about how important word of mouth communication is in referral programs?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. So the thing about referral marketing is that it builds on top of something that's already organic. So if you have a good product, if you have happy customers overall, they're going to naturally go out and tell their friends about the product they've just bought, right? And this is, I mean, it doesn't have to be just on e-commerce. I mean, word of mouth is something that happens on pretty much every single industry, and we've seen it at Referral Candy too. I mean, I've talked to a lot of merchants that were referred by other merchants because they were using Referral Candy, and they mentioned their experience using Referral Candy, and they decided to try us out. So it not only happens on the B2C world, but also happens a lot in B2B world. Um, so yeah, I mean the kind of like importance of word of mouth. It's something that you need to kind of embed in your entire company organization, in my opinion. So pretty much everybody extremely customer obsessed. Make sure that kind of like their whole goal is to make sure that every single customer that comes through, they're going to be happy overall with the service provided, and that's going to lead to organic referrals. Referral marketing can build on top of that, and you can incentivize people to refer, but you can incentivize on something that's already there, right? If you have a bad product, or if you're made, an incentive is not going to change their mind about whether they should refer their friends or not, right? So again, we've definitely seen referrals playing an important part on how we get customers for ourselves. But like I said, it's all a matter of making sure that you have a product that's referable in the first place.
Mm. And you mentioned community building in your rapid fire round, right? So how do you think one can go about building a community in the current market space where there's too much noise and too many communities? And how does one go about carving one's own brand's community?
Yeah. So you wanted me to something controversial earlier, but in
Yeah,
one
go
of the
for it.
questions, I do have one controversial example here of a company that, in my opinion, has been able to use community marketing in a somewhat to to kind of increase their brand reach. Um, so Patagonia, the clothing brand, one of the things that they did to be able to build community marketing around themselves is that, especially in the past couple of years, they were they emphasized a lot on their company mission of protecting the environment and stopping climate change and all of that. So they knew that by taking a political stance, I mean, which shouldn't be political, but it is, unfortunately, that topic. By getting political, they knew that they would probably alienate part of their customer base, but they also knew that by taking a strong position on something that was controversial, those existing customers that agree with them will be even more loyal to Patagonia, because now they have one more reason to like the company and to continue following them. And also for customers that didn't know, or potential customers that didn't know about Patagonia, but the fact that they were so vocal and they were kind of proactively reaching out about their stand on climate change, they attracted more people to the brand. And actually, there's an interesting case study out there that explains how Patagonia was actually able to grow their customer base and growing sales after they took a political stand that a lot of brands might have said, well, maybe we shouldn't get into that, right? So that's one example of how you can build community marketing. It doesn't have to be creating a Facebook group or creating a Slack channel, which also works really well. Sometimes it's just about being active on your company mission and kind of sharing, being transparent on what your company believes in. And if you share a core belief in your company that your customers are sharing it too, that's definitely going to resonate with them. And at the end of the day, it's all about building a loyal group of people around your brand. So that's all that matters, really.
Well, that was very controversial. Okay, yeah, for sure. I guess a lot of politics or like triggering people does lead to discussions. I think what comes to mind is the Gillette ad that was about, toxic masculinity, that immediately got a lot of people talking and that immediately built a community anyway, irrespective of whether it did them bad or good. It got everyone talking about them. So there must be something to controversial marketing. I think that's like a whole genre of marketing that we don't dabble in, except in interviews when I ask people, so tell me something controversial about referring. So, but okay, cool. So, and tell me about what is candybar.co? How does it help companies to engage with their clients and customers?
Yeah, so Candybar is something that we launched, it was like 4 years ago. And it was basically a way of allowing small companies, especially brick and mortar. So this is actually a project that we have that's outside of e-commerce. The goal was to help brick and mortar stores to engage with their customers more and create loyalty programs. So initially, the idea was to translate the traditional paper cards that that we all probably have in our wallets with stamps, put them on your phone. And by being able to put that loyalty card on your phone, also the merchant will be able to get some interesting stats that otherwise they wouldn't be able to have. Actually, stats are not really a thing in the brick and mortar world, so we were trying to kind of like bring more insights and transparency into that market as well. So yeah, we've been running it for a few years. Obviously, with COVID, it was a little bit more difficult, especially for those merchants, because a lot of them had to kind of shut down their facilities, or they had to just do takeaway or pickup. But we're still there. We also helping some of those brick and mortars to transition into e-commerce if they need to, and if they transition into e-commerce, see how we can help them with ReferralCandy. But yeah, it's been an interesting ride to see how you can kind of like bring some of these loyalty and also potentially referrals into the brick and mortar world, which is obviously totally different.
So besides this, what other new challenge is ReferralCandy right now trying to tackle? What's your biggest challenge right now?
So we're actually in the process of it. We're in the process of figuring out what's kind of the next thing that merchants are really thinking about, and build a product around that. So fortunately, we don't have any announcements yet, but I'm sure we will in the next few months. I mean, we want to get something that merchants are actually needing, and get it out in the market sometime next year. But yeah, we're still in the process of figuring that out. What's exactly what merchants are struggling with that we can help on.
You could have leaked something right now that would have been controversial. But okay. Well, then the last question is, which I ask everyone, what would you be doing if not this? If not working for ReferralCandy, what would you be doing as a marketer or as whatever?
Interesting. So I was before ReferralCandy, I was actually working for a very small startup. I was doing sales. It was a service business. We're actually selling recruitment services, and different from what I did back then. I'll probably be doing sales, to be honest. If I wasn't working on partnerships and business development, which is what I'm doing right now, I'd probably be in some sales room, having to about dials per day and carrying quotas and all of that, which it's a world I like as well. So that's probably where I will be, actually.
All right. Well, that's all for this interview. Thanks everyone for joining us for this month's episode of Outgrow's Marketer of the Month. That was Raul Galera, who is the Chief Advocate at ReferralCandy. Thanks for joining us, Raul.
Thanks for having me.
Check out their website for more details, and we'll see you once again next month with another Marketer of the Month.